The last video that we did was about Noel and Liam Gallagher, how close they lived to each other in Primrose Hill at the height of their fame. Well, there's two other British rock stars, iconic British rock stars, that also live really close. It is Keith Richards' house behind me, and just up there is Mick Jagger's house. We're going to go to that as well. And they lived here together in 1968, and it's literally a 2-minute walk. Now you've got to remember, when they were living here, they probably weren't at a point in the career when they were any bigger. 1968, so they still had the full lineup from the old days. They were writing Beggar's Banquet, so songs like Jumping Jack Flash very well may have been written in this house here, or up at Mick's house up the road as well. And just the whole flower power movement had gone by, and they were getting into the real rock stuff at the time. And I can just imagine living here. I mean, imagine me one of the neighbours at the time. They probably worked in banks and stuff at the time, and suddenly you have like Keith Richards rolls up, and then not only that, you've got Mick up the road as well. So I don't know what the neighbours thought to it. Even now, you can tell by the cars, it's a pretty salubrious place. It's a lovely area. You've got the Thames there, so if you lived up there in Mick's house, in Keith's house rather, you have a fantastic view down to the river. And I think this place was bought for about £55,000 back then, which will have been a lot of money in 1968. But yeah, what a lovely little place it is. I imagine it's like a Georgian house. It's similar to Keith's. I'm not sure who bought it first. If you know, leave us a message in the comments. But yeah, come and have a look at Mick's place as well. So a couple of other celebrities nowadays live here as well. We've got Sol Campbell, he lives on this street. Not sure which house it is. And Adele lives here as well. She might have wrote Chasing Pavements about these very pavements. They were massive at the time. It was just before Brian Jones died. Brian Jones died in 1969. And if you remember the festival gig that they did, when they did the tribute to Brian, when they let all the doves go, it's just a weird thought to think that both of them would have headed back down to Cheney Walk in London probably afterwards. This was their residence. So they'll have travelled back down here after the touring, because they were touring quite heavily obviously during the 60s. And they recorded at Decca as well. So obviously this would have been where they'd come back most nights. You've also got to remember, at that time they were well into the partying as well. And then Mick lived along here with Marianne Faithfull as well. So it'll have been the video that we did about Noel and Liam back at Supernova Heights. It'll have been a similar type of thing to that. There'll have been all sorts of parties going on. And I just wonder how many other celebrities have crossed that threshold as well. How many iconic 60s people. That's the bridge going over the Thames there. And the other good thing about the 1960s as well, there were no ULEZ zones either. So the only worry about getting into trouble was if you got caught in a drugs bust, which is what happened to both Mick and Keith. I think of these properties, I'm not sure, it's certainly around this time. But now even good citizens get busted by the police because of the ULEZ zone. So you've got to be pretty well off to live around here, because you've got to have an electric car. In them days all you needed was an electric guitar. See what I did there? Quite good.
Very good that, I like that, yeah.
Didn't even have to rehearse. So yeah, we're just coming up now to Mick's house. And here we are, outside Mick Jagger's former residence, 48 Cheney Walk, where he lived with Marianne Faithfull. So you can imagine him staggering back there after a few drunken nights, or if he'd been smoking some funky types of cigarettes or wherever they got up to back in the day. But yeah, what a lovely house. If you get up there, you can have a good view down to the River Thames, which you can see through there. And you really are in the heart of London as well, but it also feels like a really rich area. It's really nice. And who wouldn't want to live here? You've got Keith up the road, the Thames there, London on your doorstep, nice people dog walking everywhere. Nothing's really changed, has it? So yeah, Keith Richards' house and Mick Jagger's house, number 48, Cheney Walk, London.